WWE has just set the wrestling world ablaze with a shocking and monumental development that has left fans reeling and insiders scrambling to make sense of what could be one of the most explosive storylines in years. The fallout from the latest Money in the Bank event has taken a dark and unpredictable turn, and it all begins with Seth Rollins, now the holder of the coveted Money in the Bank briefcase. But this isn't just about one man's victory. This is about power, revenge, and the possible unraveling of a legacy that once dominated WWE. Standing at Rollins' side during this pivotal moment was none other than Paul Heyman, the diabolical mastermind who has guided some of the most dominant champions in WWE history. Together, they unleashed a message so ominous and chilling that it sent immediate shockwaves through the entire WWE universe. Following Rollins' Money in the Bank win, the atmosphere changed. This wasn't just a step forward in his career, it was the beginning of something far more sinister. During a backstage segment on Monday Night Raw, Seth Rollins and Paul Heyman stood shoulder to shoulder in front of the camera, their expressions cool, calm, and menacing. Without any build-up or theatrics, Heyman leaned in with his signature cold, calculated voice and delivered a single, devastating word: soon. That one word was more powerful than an entire promo. It wasn't just a warning. It was a promise. And that promise was aimed directly at Roman Reigns, the self-proclaimed tribal chief and reigning champion who has ruled WWE with an iron grip for years. But the surprises didn't end there. Just when it seemed like nothing could top that moment, the unexpected happened. A clip surfaced on social media, one that would throw fuel onto the already raging fire. Dean Ambrose, now operating under his AEW persona, Jon Moxley, appeared in a dimly lit video. His eyes were locked on the camera, his presence intense and unflinching. He uttered just a few words, but they carried weight. "You two really never learn, do you?" With that, he turned and walked away, leaving fans stunned, social media in chaos, and speculation soaring. Moxley, who hadn't publicly acknowledged anything related to the Shield in years, had just thrown himself into the middle of what could become the most personal conflict WWE has seen in a decade. Let's take a moment to unpack what all of this really means. First, the Money in the Bank briefcase gives Rollins the ultimate power, the ability to challenge the champion of his choosing at any time, under any circumstances. This unpredictability has already made past cash-ins legendary, and now, with Roman Reigns in his crosshairs, it creates a new level of suspense. Will Rollins wait for Roman to return from injury or absence? Or will he strike preemptively, dismantling the bloodline from within and targeting Roman when he's most vulnerable? There's no clear answer, and that's what makes it terrifying. Now factor in Paul Heyman. A man who has made a career out of controlling chaos, Heyman has now aligned himself with Seth Rollins, and that alliance changes the entire game. Heyman has always been a strategic mastermind, pulling strings and manipulating situations to benefit his chosen clients. With Heyman now seemingly betraying Roman Reigns, his former golden goose, questions arise about his true intentions. Is he building a new dynasty with Rollins? Has he truly turned his back on the bloodline, or is he playing a long game that pits both sides against each other for his benefit? And what about the new faces surrounding them, Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed? These two rising stars are physical juggernauts, and under Heyman's guidance, they could become the muscle behind a dominant new faction. One thing is certain, Heyman never makes moves without a master plan. Then there's the wild card in this high-stakes equation, Dean Ambrose, aka Jon Moxley. His return to the conversation may be the most significant and unpredictable element of all. Ambrose has always walked his own path, refusing to conform, refusing to be controlled. His sudden appearance suggests that he's not done with his past and, more importantly, that the Shield story is far from over. Is he stepping in to support Roman Reigns, reigniting the bond they once shared? Or is he coming after both of them, seeking revenge or closure for the betrayals and pain of the past? Could this be a step toward an epic Shield reunion, or the final, bloody chapter in their shared history? What makes all of this even more compelling is that none of it feels scripted. The emotions are raw, the stakes are sky high, and the pieces are perfectly set for a storyline that could span months or even years. WWE hasn't had a feud this volatile in a long time. The symbolism alone is powerful. Rollins, once the architect of the Shield, now aligned with a manipulator like Heyman, Roman, the tribal chief who has conquered all challengers, now facing betrayal from within, and Ambrose/Moxley, the unpredictable force who could either bring unity or total destruction. This isn't just another wrestling angle. It's the resurrection of the Shield's ghost, a storyline laced with history, betrayal, ambition, and unresolved tension. The dynamic between these three men is unlike anything else in professional wrestling. Each has carved out their own legacy, but together, they represent a faction that once changed the course of WWE. Now, that legacy is at stake, and the consequences could shake WWE to its core. As the storyline continues to unfold, fans are left with a burning list of questions. When will Seth Rollins cash in his Money in the Bank contract? Can Roman Reigns trust anyone after what Heyman has done? Is Dean Ambrose back for revenge, redemption, or something entirely different? And perhaps the most unsettling question of all, what does soon really mean? This is more than just a storyline. It's a war that's been building for years. The Shield's legacy has returned to the forefront of WWE, and its former members are preparing to battle for control, pride, and retribution. Seth Rollins has the briefcase. Paul Heyman has the plan. Dean Ambrose just reignited the flame. And Roman Reigns? He's the target, whether he knows it yet or not. Don't look away. Don't blink. WWE has just entered its most dangerous chapter yet. Stay tuned, turn on notifications, and get ready for a ride that could change everything. The Shield saga isn't over. It's just getting started. WWE has just unleashed a jaw-dropping twist that's sending shockwaves throughout the entire wrestling world. The aftermath of Money in the Bank has taken an electrifying and unpredictable turn, shaking the very foundation of the WWE Universe. Seth Rollins emerged victorious and claimed the coveted Money in the Bank briefcase, but what followed wasn't just another celebration. It was a declaration of war. Standing beside him was none other than Paul Heyman, known for his cunning and ruthless strategies, and together, they issued a one-word warning to Roman Reigns that chilled fans to the core. That word? Soon. But that wasn't the end of it. In a move that no one expected, Dean Ambrose, now known as Jon Moxley, broke his long-held silence regarding the Shield and made a cryptic appearance that set the internet ablaze. During a tense and ominous backstage segment on Raw, Seth Rollins and Paul Heyman appeared on screen, smirking with sinister intent. With the MITB briefcase in Rollins' grasp, the tension was palpable. Heyman leaned toward the camera and, with a voice heavy with menace, spoke directly to Roman Reigns.
2.